Hey there, 8th graders. Welcome to today's lesson. I am literally so excited we're diving into this together today. We're going to unlock the absolute best secrets for taking total control of your research projects. We're talking about mastering project time with timelines and checklists. Seriously, get ready, because these tools, they are an absolute game changer for your academic life and will completely transform how you handle your schoolwork.
So tell me if this sounds familiar. Have you ever had just a brilliantly great idea for a paper or project, but you completely ran out of time to actually finish it? Yeah, it's a terrible feeling, right? We've all been there. The hard truth is, even the coolest, most creative ideas are just going to fall flat if time runs out before you can execute them. That whole deadline panic is so real, and it brings a ton of unnecessary stress. But hey, it definitely doesn't have to be that way.
You know, timelines and checklists aren't just some boring school requirement. They are literally the pro playbook used by highly successful adults out in the real world. Think about it. Project managers building massive skyscrapers, event planners putting together those huge stadium concerts, or even professional athletes training for the Olympics. Every single one of them relies totally on timelines and checklists. They use them to guarantee success and completely eliminate that stressful deadline panic. And today, we're going to learn exactly how to use their pro methods for your own research.
All right, before we get into the nuts and bolts, let's look at Section 1, God's Design for Order. You see, organizing our schoolwork isn't just about passing a class. It's actually a really beautiful reflection of our Creator. 1 Corinthians 14 verse 40 says, "But everything should be done in a fitting and orderly way." God is a God of ultimate order. Just look at the universe, the perfectly timed seasons, or how incredibly organized the human body is. It's all structured perfectly. So when we approach our research and our daily schedules with discipline, we're actually reflecting God's character. Orderly work is, without a doubt, honoring work.
Okay, let's move right into Section 2, building your master timeline.
A master timeline is your absolute foundation. It's that big picture view of your entire assignment, basically your map, to avoid that late-night panic the day before a project is due. Okay, let's dive into this strategy step by step. Step 1, write down every single step of your project, from the very first brainstorm all the way to the final presentation. Step 2, pinpoint your absolute final deadline. And step 3, this is the real secret weapon right here. You assign due dates by working backward. You heard me right. You don't start at today and work forward. You start at the very end and work backward.
Let's actually walk through how this plays out in real life. Imagine your final due date is April 30th. Working backward, we might decide, okay, our final edits absolutely must be complete by April 25th. Stepping back again, peer review needs to be done by April 20th. That means the draft has to be completed by April 15th. And to even write that draft, we need to finish gathering all our sources by April 10th. Do you see how working backward like that ensures every single piece of the puzzle just falls into place smoothly and perfectly on time? It literally takes all the guesswork out of it.
Now, let's shift gears a bit to Section 3, the power of checklists.
So while your master timeline handles your big picture schedule, we definitely need something else for the day-to-day stuff. If timelines manage our time, checklists guarantee we don't miss a single crucial detail along the way. Now, a detailed checklist has to be incredibly specific. You can't just scribble "do project" on a sticky note and call it a day. You gotta break it down into bite-sized pieces. Choose a topic, write a research question, gather 5 sources, take notes, write the draft, revise the draft, and finally submit. A checklist like this gives you complete, total clarity on exactly what needs to happen next. And here is a brilliant little psychological trick you can play on your own brain. Color code your progress. Mark your tasks as in progress, or better yet, boldly cross them off as completed. Let me tell you, crossing things off a list feels so incredibly rewarding, it actually releases a little bit of dopamine in your brain. It's exactly like that super satisfying joy of leveling up in a video game. Doing this keeps your motivation incredibly high as you tackle your project.
All right, moving on to Section 4, the Pomodoro strategy.
Okay, so you've got your timeline, you've got your awesome color-coded checklist, but how do you actually sit down at your desk and do the work without getting totally exhausted? Well, the Pomodoro strategy is brilliant for this, and the crucial magic number to remember here is 25. You set a timer, and you work energetically with total undivided focus for exactly 25 minutes. No phone, no extra browser tabs, just the work. And then, the best part, as soon as that timer goes off, you take a mandatory, relaxing 5-minute break. Now, you might be wondering, why do we do it this way? Well, the Pomodoro technique prevents burnout while keeping your productivity super high.
Think about it. Your brain can only focus intensely for so long before it just gets tired. This specific rhythm of really focused work, followed by planned rest, keeps your mind incredibly sharp. You will literally work so much faster and produce much better research because you know a refreshing break is always just a few minutes away. Now, let's bring it back to what really matters in Section 5, integrity in your work. As you master these amazing productivity tools, we've got to take a second to talk about your character. Being efficient is awesome, but how we execute our plans matters deeply. Think about the contrast between cutting corners and maybe copying someone else's work versus operating with honesty, integrity, and godly order. When you don't plan well, you're so tempted to cheat just to get it done. But hear me loud and clear on this. Maintaining integrity and honesty in your effort is infinitely more valuable than getting a perfect grade. Absolutely avoid cutting corners, because when you plan and organize with discipline and integrity, you are truly walking in the light. This leads us right into our final area, Section 6, Education with Biblical Morality.
Here at HeroesMart Academy, we deliberately intertwine biblical morality with education because we firmly believe that knowledge without morality can actually hurt. We really don't want you to just be smart, we want you to be wise. Your intelligence, your ability to build these timelines, your academic skills, they are meant to help you make righteous, God-honoring choices in the real world. We're not just making you more capable, we are equipping you to be a bright light in this world. So yes, absolutely pursue academic excellence, but always do it for the right reasons. As the Apostle Paul writes in Romans chapter 8, verses 6 and 7, "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." I really want to challenge you today with this. Pursue top-tier academic excellence. Be the absolute best student you can possibly be. But as you do it, keep your mind centered entirely on God, on truth, and on wisdom. Keep your mind spiritually minded, and you will find incredible life and peace in everything you do. Yep, even in your homework.
So I want to leave you with this final, powerful question. How will you honor God with your mind and your time this week? You've got the ultimate tools now. You know exactly how to build a master timeline by working backward. You know how to craft detailed checklists. You've got the Pomodoro strategy to keep your focus sharp. Now I want you to immediately apply these tools to your life. Step up, take total control of your schedule, and pursue your studies with phenomenal godly order and integrity. Have a blessed, highly productive week, and I'll catch you in the next lesson.